What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Winter, and today we're going to be reviewing the new 21 Pilots album, Scaled and Icy. Scaled and Icy is the alt-pop duo's 6th studio album to date, and this is coming off of a very high critically acclaimed album, probably their best critically acclaimed album. Gosh, that's hard to say. Trench, and that was in 2018. Trench is probably an album that is very unique to most of their other albums, just how all their albums are different sounding from one another. Trench was no different, and same definitely can be said for this new album, Scaled and Icy. I know there is a lot of mixed feelings toward this record. I know I see a lot of comments saying it's not their best work, or it's just not good music. I've seen other critics say the same thing. And then I've also seen people say, like, it's just different. You have to keep listening to it. Some songs grow on you. And I think that's a definite side effect of this album. I think that's a very good detailed explanation of a lot of these songs on this record. Because at first, it can be very underwhelming. Their first few singles were Shy Away, Choker, and I think their last one was Saturday. And I will say that I don't have the issues with Saturday like most other critics and people. A lot of even the clique, the fan base, 21 Pilot fan base, they had a lot of problems with that song. It sounded generic. It sounded like a Maroon 5 song, like a basic pop song, like a basic, just anyone could have wrote it. It doesn't sound like 21 Pilots. To me, I thought it was a great, fun summer bop. I mean, if I'm being completely honest. Shy Away, it took me some growing because it was very underwhelming for me. I thought they could have done more. I thought they were just trying to ride this 80s wave, just like how 4 or 5 other albums have done so far by major artists in the past 2 years. Overall, the album is a very pop-centered, upbeat album. There are sections and songs, and some songs that are more melancholic or more dark, or in that sphere, but not for very long, and if they are. Going through the track list, number 1, the opener, Good Day, is a very, very pop and derivative song, which it sounds like they were inspired by like a Billy Joel, and definitely like a 70s alt-pop rock type of song. That one is a very good opener for me. It has a very interesting songwriting subject, which I think a lot of these songs do. You don't have their typical suicidal thoughts, depressed state. You don't have your typical music industry, at least from what I can tell. Maybe one song might have that. Maybe like The Outside might be alluding to the music industry, but I'm not sure. I haven't really dived too deep into the lyrics, but I have listened to the album about maybe 5-6 times all the way through, and from what I can tell, their topics are not what they typically talk about, which is cool. I'm glad that they're able to change topics. I'm glad to hear that Tyler Joseph is in a happier state of mind for the most part. And I think that really shows with this album, which is a very different side of them. And I'm actually kind of here for it. I'm glad that he was able to put his emotion into words, into a certain vein that his audience has never heard before. The second song, Choker, off the album, for me, and I think for a lot of fans, it sounds like the most 21 Pilot-y type song. It sounds more like their older stuff, a Vessel original at best, and maybe even a little bit of self-titled 21 Pilots. But for me, I think it kind of lacked in the emotion. And I know that a lot of you will probably tie that in with the whole Dima being controlling them aspect, which I can understand, but just the vocal delivery itself, it doesn't really, for me, when he's just sitting on his rasp right there in those verses, it gets a little boring for me, and it doesn't sound like there's many really emotion there. He's missing that 21 Pilot factor that gave the emotion to the song. Sure, the production sounds like them 100%, but that when that emotion is there, there's kind of a disconnect for me. The chorus, though, is very infectious. Very good chorus. I really liked it. The rap, not so much. It's a little clunky for me. It's not bad whatsoever. The rhyme scheme's okay, but just the delivery and the way it's recorded and mixed, for me, isn't his best work, if I'm being honest. And I feel like it was kind of forced in there at the end. Some of my favorite songs on the album are songs like Mulberry Street, which is another callback to like a Billy Joel or Elton John type of pop rock in the 70s, 80s. And then another one that I really liked was Redecorate, the closer. Redecorate is a very cool metaphor. It can be taken both ways. The one way I know, which is the way that Tyler Joseph wrote it, I believe he wrote it for a sister's friend or some sort of a relative or friend of theirs and their son or daughter. I'm not sure who. I didn't read too much into it, but I did see a few comments about this, who had passed away. And they had left their room exactly how they left. And the parents or the family left that kid's room exactly how it was, and they haven't changed it, which is a pretty interesting concept. But then it could also be taken as someone's life. It could be taken as someone who is thinking about ending their life. And you're saying like, well, the last thing I want to do is leave my room the way it is for everyone to decide what to do with it. You know, that's the last thing I want them to do, which is a pretty interesting song. Like I said, very different subject matters. And I think that was a pretty cool metaphor. I know others might think it's corny, but I thought it was a very clever metaphor. One of my favorite choruses on the record was with Redecorate. And then again, like with Mulberry Street, very infectious chorus. The bounce to it just fits 21 Pilots. And like I said, it is like a callback to Elton John. Now, some of the more experimental songs I think for 21 Pilots on the record was The Outside and track 10, No Chances. And just different sounds, different song structures, really. It was very repetitive, just how, like Joseph had said in multiple interviews, he was focusing on the song process. He's focusing on the art of songwriting, not necessarily on going in every which direction, but keeping it in a box, he was purposely put himself in this box, which also ties in with the themes of being controlled by Dino. So overall, it's not my most favorite 21 Pilot record by any means. I think it might be a little bit lower on the list, but there's no songs on here really besides the song Never Take It, which I know this may be a unpopular opinion, but that's probably my least favorite song on this whole record. I'm not a big fan of the more alt-rock sounding side of them with the driving guitars. Message was cool on it. Sounds like he's talking about a political state and that the higher ups in the media and all, they're trying to weaponize us. They can't control us. Let's never give in to it, never take it. So I appreciate the message of it, but I just don't think I like the soundscape of it, which is why I like the band 21 Pilots. It's because they don't have those driving electric guitars that all the bands had from mid-2000s to now, which is what sets them apart. But other than that, the album was a good album. I was really surprised with it. I think it's going to be a summer album that you just keep on repeat, and it's really easy to listen to. And if you don't take it too seriously, then you'll understand the album and you'll like the album. You'll appreciate that he's in a happier headspace now. Overall, it was a good album. You guys should definitely check it out. If you guys want to check out more of my album reviews, I do have a playlist somewhere on my channel, and I will probably link a couple at the very end of this video. If you guys want to check out my own music, I'm also an artist from Southern California. My name is the same name as the title of this channel, or the name of this channel, and it is Winter, and I'm on all platforms. Check out my music. They are also a big inspiration to me, so maybe you'd like my music as well. All right, guys, I hope you guys have a great night or morning or midday, whenever you guys are watching this. And yeah, peace.
I know